And welcome to our midweek conversation at First Baptist Sweetwater, where we strive to be the first responders of God's love. My name's Jerry Hendricks, and I'm here with T. Hamilton, and we are ready for Operation Christmas Child.
We are ready.
We got all these boxes here. We're ready for them to disappear, and it's going to be quite a fun time.
And then reappear.
And
they don't just want them disappearing.
Yeah, they do come back. That's great. Yeah, it's a great way to get the season started. This is the first leg of really a giving season for us, and we've outlined 3 weeks in a row starting Sunday with Operation Christmas Child, where we'll be talking about different ways, different opportunities that we have to give during this Thanksgiving season. I guess that means giving thanks, but it's also a time to give.
But what a better way to thank than to give?
Yeah, to give out of our abundance and provision, and so we're looking forward to this.
Better to give than receive.
Yeah. So in order in that we are doing these offerings, we have Operation Christmas Child on this Sunday, the 14th, and then on the 21st, it is at the table. This is really a message that we did. I don't know when we did this originally. I guess it was when Advent kind of started late one year.
Right, it was 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. I think we actually had a table on the stage and then had people, and then 3 different people gave part of the message.
Yeah, and so thematically it kind of caught on. It was a time for us to have communion together. And so on that Sunday we'll be receiving an offering for to feed those who can't feed themselves or can't provide for themselves.
Right.
We cooperate with a couple of ministries here in town that help do that. So we take a Thanksgiving offering for that, and then after our worship, we'll have a time of gathering in the fellowship hall for a fellowship meal.
Will it be at the table?
It'll be at the table.
Excellent.
And we'll be doing communion at each of the tables.
Cool.
So that's something that we've talked about for a long time, and it's not figured out a way to implement that.
Or never just bit the bullet and did it.
Right.
Now we're doing it.
Yeah, we bit the bullet.
We've done it a long time ago.
Bullet biting.
We did a long time ago on Easter, and I thought it worked.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll work.
Well, good. Then on the 28th, which will be the Sunday following Thanksgiving, we'll initiate our Angel Tree. And tell us about that.
Angel Tree is a really cool ministry that's part of Prison Fellowship. And if a person is in prison and has children, they can sign their kids up for this ministry, and local churches purchase a gift for their child. And so a gift is given to, or actually 2 gifts are given to their children from the parent in prison.
In the name of that person.
Right. Yeah. And so it's a really cool opportunity, because it's that idea of, not let your right hand know what your left hand is doing.
Right.
You're not getting the credit for it.
Right.
That person in prison is, and you're really helping somebody to love on their kids in a way that's difficult otherwise.
Well, and that's been one of those ongoing ministries here since I've been here, and I think even preceding that. And so we're looking forward to that and doing some. We've added some elements to that to we feel like make that a little bit more meaningful, and adding more of a bit of a personal touch to that. So we're looking forward to approaching those Sundays, and it all starts on the 14th this Sunday.
Yeah, it's here. Advent is here. We already said it 1,000 times up till now, but we're truthful now.
Yeah. So then from Thanksgiving, on the Angel Tree Day, that's the beginning of Advent, where we sort of turn a corner and start developing the Advent themes. And this year, our worship planning team has put together some really neat emphasis for us each week, in addition, or as a part of our worship.
Right.
And our theme this year is traditions, the story of Jesus for every generation. And it's we're at that place where we're considering the history of our church. And so obviously, when you talk about history, you're looking backward, but so much of celebrating that is looking forward.
Right.
And so we didn't want the idea of traditions just to be one of those things that put us in a place where we're looking backward. But the other part to it that we felt like was far-reaching is it's Christmas time, and all of us have traditions.
Yes, lots of good ones.
So it'll provide for us a good conversation piece as we think about the traditions that each of us have and what makes how those traditions make us unique and things like that. And so through that, we'll have some very special things going on in our worship service week to week. Some things we've not ever done before.
Christmas is where I break my tradition of not watching movies.
Oh, yeah. So what do you...
Christmas Day, we watched Christmas Story. Red Ryder BB gun. So, and I do watch the Charlie Brown Christmas. If I don't watch that and the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, not that Jim Carrey one, but the original good one, I watch those 2 cartoons and then I watch that other one. It's a beautiful, beautiful time.
That's my least favorite Christmas movie, Teague.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
No, the one with the BB gun.
Oh, really?
That kid is so annoying.
That's your least favorite? I can show you a lot that are bad. I've tried to work.
Maybe I don't watch that many. I do kind of stick to my, top 3. So
okay, so obviously, the Handing Out Angel Wings, right? What's that one?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Elf, and Godfather.
Never seen Elf or Godfather.
Yeah. So those are my 3 favorite Christmas movies.
I didn't know Godfather was in there.
Yes.
I didn't know it was a Christmas movie. I'd always heard the debate about the other weapon one. No, Die Hard.
There's a Christmas scene in there.
Oh, okay.
It's a significant one, too.
My least favorite Christmas
event happens
movie,
at Christmas time, just like real life.
My least favorite Christmas movie is anything that happens on the Hallmark Channel.
Well, that's a plethora.
So there you go.
Yeah.
It's about 30 new ones every year.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
Well,
but
I felt I'd say it.
We've said it now.
No, I mean, we started new traditions last year with putting the candles in the window. I thought that was a cool idea.
Oh, my goodness. We have not even talked about that yet.
Oh, well, now we have. It goes without saying.
So that was a pandemic pivot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I thought it was one of the coolest things that I had been a part of.
Going around and looking at other houses that had their candles up. And then I was reading about
So if that's
Advent.
a bit of a mystery to folks as you're listening to this, we'll be explaining that. That was a part of our Candlelight Vigil, where candlelight was a come and go thing, because we were still in the middle of COVID and spiking numbers and so forth. But everyone received a candle that night as they left, and we asked them to place that in the window because there's a story that goes with that, and I can't even recall the story.
It was the candle represented that your home was open for the traveler.
That's right. Yeah. Really neat. Well, I think we discovered it through talking about Christmas traditions,
right?
And light in regard to light or candlelight, and that's where we discovered that story of how people would do that in order to welcome guests.
Yep.
So, man, I'm excited.
Candles. I found out the other day that the love candle is also called the faith candle.
I think I knew that.
It's interesting how that works together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we have some interesting Sundays coming up. Last Sunday, I'm kind of in between some trips that I take in the fall. I'd forgotten what that's like, having that COVID year where we didn't go anywhere for a long time, or all these events were virtual. So I guess we went to them in front of our computer at our desk. But last Sunday I was here, and we talked about the widow's offering, which is interestingly enough another passage. I mean, I've been with with you guys for so long, or us so long, that there's not many that I haven't preached unless it's Old Testament stories.
Right.
But
I thought it was interesting, the widow's one, when you brought up the part about the fact that she was a female and a widow.
Yeah.
That I'd never seen that or thought about that aspect of the story.
Yeah. There's so much, again, it was one of those things where there's so much more that I wanted to say, but I think, at a time where we're looking at our own life in regard to giving and how we take ownership of the ministry of the church, and obviously you and I do in a different way than anyone else can in this church, because we are the only full-time staff here.
Right.
But we've gone through a process and discussion with our budget, and looking forward to the next year, and still anticipating with some anxiety, wondering what this is going to be like. But it's still something significant when God's people come together and they allow God to work through their life in a way where it helps as a part of their faith expression. They give offerings and participate in something that's bigger than themselves.
Yeah. And you're probably the first person I've heard talk about giving as a part of discipleship.
Yeah.
And I think we wouldn't be so scared about talking about money and giving and things like that in churches if we talked about it the way it should be,
Right.
as a part of discipleship. I think that's good. And yeah.
Well, it was so a good theme for us, and a good biblical story to go along with that. This next Sunday, as we look ahead, I'll be gone again. I'll be going to the our denomination's annual meeting in Galveston. It's normally not so far away, and wanted to break up the trip just a little bit. So I'm going to be breaking it up with a basketball game. Surprise, surprise.
Go Spurs, go.
I'm wearing my basketball shirt today because this week is the start of college basketball.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Games start tonight or today. But I've asked a friend, Terrence Waldron. He is the youth minister at Pioneer Drive Baptist Church in Abilene, and he speaks at the gathering some over there.
Okay.
As well as regularly communicating with students. But he'll be here on Sunday to be sharing with us, and he's going to be speaking from the story of Daniel. So
cool.
That's going to be really good. I think our folks will really enjoy that, and I always enjoy getting to introduce our church to others, and then our church to some of these young folks that are preaching and developing that part of their ministry.
Yep, and you enjoy getting to introduce them on Sunday morning.
Oh yeah, we do need to do that video. Yeah, so not today in a basketball shirt.
Okay.
Another wardrobe change for that. But anyways, then following that, I'll step back in on the 21st at the table, and that'll be Jeremy's last Sunday with us, leading worship. And we'll have, which all these things kind of work together with this at the table theme. So we're looking forward to being able to participate in that and work toward a really, really good Sunday of communion and family.
After 6 weeks, we're going to be exhausted.
No, probably not, because there's that adrenaline that kicks in for the new year.
No, I don't get that adrenaline. You do. I don't.
I think we do. I think we do, Teague.
No.
Yes, we do.
You thought wrong. You do. I don't.
Oh, wow. But it's fun. We were looking at just how the church has developed here. Well, finishing up our year-end meetings, which we did last night. We were kind of looking at how we've changed. It's not post-COVID, but after that COVID shock of a year, we're starting to see some people come back, and even though we look a lot different now, there's an appreciation for some of the things that maybe we had taken for granted.
Right, definitely.
And I think that's where a lot of the enthusiasm and additional adrenaline for us, for me anyways, comes through in that process. So anyways, I think it's really going to be a fun, significant Advent for us this year.
Yep.
So anyways, it's always fun to jump in the middle of your week. Thanks for listening, and we'll look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. But as I said, Teak and others, along with Terrence, will be here to lead us in worship on Sunday.
See ya.